So the rolling back of the Clean Power Plan represents a fairly significant blow to the overall US goals of meeting its Paris pledge. That's the pledge that it put in place in the run-up to the Paris conference in 2015 to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions fairly significantly compared to its 2005 base year. And what that means is that there'll be not only likely to be greater levels of greenhouse gas emissions from the US going forward, but also importantly, the Clean Power Plan represented a very, very big decrease in sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide emissions as well. And those are the chemicals that cause soot and smog. So there'll be lots of potentially harmful impacts in terms of local pollution, the kind of stuff that causes asthma attacks, premature deaths and so on.
It probably has all sorts of negative environmental consequences.
It's likely that there'll be an increasing amount of doubt in terms of the US overall commitment to support clean technologies, in particular renewable energy technologies. We know from the US's own administration statistics that those sectors of renewable energy account for something like 600 to 700,000 jobs, whereas at the moment coal accounts for something like 70,000 jobs. So, you know, this clean tech sector is now very important in terms of overall jobs and economic output in the US.
You have to do more interviews in town after this, or you have
Being done within other bureaus.
Right.
So the executive order in terms of rolling back the Clean Power Plan means that there's a much less strong policy signal to support renewable and clean technologies like solar photovoltaics and wind. There's much more support for the most carbon intensive forms of power generation like coal-fired power generation. So from that point of view, it means that there isn't a strong top-down signal from the government, if you like, to reduce carbon emissions from the electricity sector. But having said that, there are still some very, very powerful economics at play. Very fast falling costs of solar photovoltaics and wind, which mean that in a lot of states in the USA, a number of companies are deciding to actually develop and deploy those technologies rather than fossil fuel technologies like coal and gas power. So we're likely to see a lot of those decisions continue regardless of this executive order today.